Some interleague baseball for you here from Sparky Anderson Field. Welcome everybody. It's the Oaks and the Puff Caps live on KDTV. Get a nice snapshot of myself. That was somewhat of an accident, but I hope you enjoyed it. Regardless, my name is Jonathan Rifkin. I'm joined by my broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkin. And this is Oaks baseball as they take on the Pacific Union Capitalists. They are starting a 3-game series right here at Cal Lutheran University. Today, tomorrow, and then on Saturday at Conejo Creek. The Oaks coming on a 3-game hot streak, a 5-4 win against the Halos 2 days ago that went 10 innings before Brandon Lewis, who is not available for today's game, hit a home run over the left field fence to give the Oaks the win. Now, for the Pacific Union Capitalists, they used to play in the California Collegiate League. They've now moved on as just an independent travel team. With that being said, they are composed of some of the nation's best high school players headed to Division I colleges in the fall. This will be the first of 3 games. Like I said, the Oaks took all 3 games against them last year. They're coming in at 10-1 on the season, including 4 games against CCL teams, of which they won all of them. Jonah, the Oaks coming off of a 5-4 win against the Halos. They put up 11 hits. They did have 2 errors in the field. Prior to that game, they beat the Legend and also the Foresters before that. 2 very good teams in the Halos and the Foresters. The Legend lost 5-0 that game. They're a good team, but didn't really have the manpower in the bullpen to stay with the Oaks. Now, 3 games against a developing team. How do the Oaks make sure that they don't kind of fall behind in the progress that they've made thus far in the season?
Well, first and foremost, they can't take this team lightly. This team, there's a lot of quality players, even though they are high school graduates. These are talented players committed to playing at really impressive and top D1 schools. So that's the first thing. They have to treat them and give them the proper respect that they deserve. And then most importantly, they have to stay locked in. What happened was after that Foresters game, Coach David Solis vented on his team. He let them know, hey, if you're playing, you got to be playing seriously. You got to take this seriously, look to improve. And after that win, even though that was a win against the Foresters, they have been looking extremely locked in and focused the last 3 games, and they just have to continue to carry that into today's game.
The Oaks are manned by head coach David Solis in his 11th year with the team, but 6th as the head coach for the Puff Caps. They're in their 12th season of existence, and Mike Zarelli is in his 5th season as their head coach. We're going to take a break, but hit the national anthem when we come back, starting lineups and the first pitch. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll toss it to our PA announcer, Chris Ruffinelli.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and kindly move your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Nice rendition of our nation's anthem back here above the press box at George Sparky Anderson Field as the Oaks and the Puff Cats set to duke it out on the diamond. Starting lineups first. We're going to start off with the Conejo Oaks today because the Puff Caps just got us their lineup, so we're all just sorting through that right now. Again, some of these interleague games logistically can be a challenge. First for the Conejo Oaks, coming in at 15-6 overall, 11-6 in the CCL. They're on a 3-game winning streak and tied for first place with the Foresters. First for the Oaks is DJ Miller playing center field from Ole Miss. Behind him, Jason Oliver out in right field from Cal State Bakersfield. Grant Mayu follows them in the 3 spot, playing third base from San Diego State. Cody Santana makes his debut in the cleanup spot for the Oaks, playing first base from Hawaii Pacific University. Jordan McFarland's DHing today's game from the University of Arkansas in the 5th spot. Milo Beam, the left fielder from Purdue, is in the 6th spot. Sam Shakin's playing shortstop today from Valparaiso in the 7th spot. The LA Pierce Junior College product, Will Pickett, is playing second base today, batting 8th, and to wrap things up for the Oaks in the number 9 spot is Jacob Castro from UC Irvine. On the mound for the Oaks, getting his 3rd start of the season from Texas Tech is Erickson Lanning. Jonah Lanning came off a rough start last time. His control has been phenomenal, but at times he seems to shy away from batters. What does he need to do to kind of get off to a hot start here and keep the Oaks ahead?
Yeah, well, one of the things he likes to do is challenge batters. One of the ways he does that is he likes testing their swings by throwing some inside pitches. And I think for him, he just has to stay willing. He has to be willing to change up some tactics on the mound. He can't stick to his normal fastball on the inside, throw some sliders or some curves on the outside, force these batters to work. And I think if he does that and tests his arm and the accuracy in the strike zone, he gives himself the better chance.
Attending Rice in the fall, number 5, Trey.
Trey Cruz attending Rice in the fall. He's going to step in here from Texas to lead things off for the Puff Caps as Lanning toes the upper. Pearson fires the first pitch, and it's popped foul out of play for strike 1. 4:59 is our start time. 82 degrees and windy to right field is the weather. Trey Cruz, 4-year varsity player in high school, as though 2-pitch runs up and in, or excuse me, a 1-pitch runs up and in, and that evens count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Waiting on deck is Bryce Bonin as the 1-1 pitch is taken low for ball number 2. Oaks Field, out and right is Jason Oliver, and center is DJ Miller. Milo Beam occupies left, Cody Santana at first. Will Pickett's at second. At short is Sam Shakin. At third is Grant Mayu. The 2-1 pitch is taken at the knees for a strike 2-2. And actually looks like Shakin and Mayu switched, and Mayu is actually going to play third base, even though that was not on the lineup card that Solis gave us. Interesting switch there. The 2-2 pitch is a 2-hopper over to Shakin at third. He'll glove it and whip it across the diamond in time for out number 1.
Yeah, an interesting decision from Coach Solis. Fortunately for him, both Shakin and Mayu more than capable at playing either one. They're great infielders. Both have a great feel for the field and the bounce. So really, for him, it's a win-win having either one of them in any position.
Yeah, both phenomenal fielders. As Bryce Bonin steps in, attending the University of Arkansas in the fall as he swings and misses at an off-speeder for strike 1. On deck is Quentin Selma, attending Cal in the fall. As Lanning comes set and fires the 0-1 pitch in the dirt for ball 1. So it'll be the one of 3 games that these two teams play tomorrow and Saturday as well. The 1-1 pitch is taken just below the knees for a ball. 2 balls and a strike for Lanning. Head into his junior year at Texas Tech. He actually pitched in the College World Series 2 years ago, but was used in limited action last season as the 2-1 pitch runs inside for ball 3.
Well, he's got such a powerful throw. The velocity, 89 miles an hour. And with accuracy, it's hard to pass up on.
3-1 pitch in is popped foul against the screen. And we'll do it now with a full count. That pitch at 90 miles an hour. His average velocity tends to go between 88 and 91. We haven't seen him hit 92 a couple of times, though, as the payoff pitch comes in from Lanning. And it's popped foul out of play. And we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Bonin doing a nice job of staying in the count, fighting off those pitches on the outside.
Payoff pitch again is waved at and missed for strike 3. A high fastball on the outside corner catches Bonin swinging. 2 away now. 1 strikeout on the board for Lanning. And the Cal Berkeley prospect headed there in the fall, Quinton Selma, steps in, playing third base in today's game. Lefty on lefty matchup here. On deck for the Puff Cats as the first pitch is taken low is Nick Brewser. He's actually going to Stanford. A lot of phenomenal talent on this Pacific Union Financial Capitalist team as the 1-0 pitch comes in from Lanning, and it's swung and missed for strike number 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away here, top of the first. Puff Cats come in 10-1 on the season as the 1-1 pitch is a curveball taken on the outside corner for strike number 2.
Yeah, and those are the pitches that it's good to see Lanning throw, taking a chance, especially in a lefty-lefty situation. Those outside pitches sometimes can prove to be costly, but not in that particular case.
1-2 pitch, half swing. They're saying he went around for strike 3. Down goes Selma, the second straight strikeout on the game for Lanning, and the Puff Caps are retired in order here in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through half an inning here from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks offensive side coming up. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
DJ Miller.
Ole Miss center fielder and one of the CCL leaders in batting in this season, DJ Miller, steps in to lead things off for the Oaks. He's going to face Trenton Denholm on the mound. On the season for Miller, batting .415. Uncanny number as Denholm Pearson fires the first pitch up and in for ball 1 to go along with that .415 batting average. He also has 11 RBIs, 9 runs scored, and he's 6 for 6 on the season in stolen bases. 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner at 91 miles an hour. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's so dangerous with those upstairs pitches, especially on the outside corners.
1-1 pitch, taken at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Denholm headed to UC Irvine in the fall. Play with some of these Oaks, Evan McMillan, Jacob Castro, the likes. As he deals the 1-2 pitch, taken just outside for ball 2. That one hitting 93 miles an hour on the gun. Beautiful pitch there. Give you the field here in just a second for the Puff Caps as Denholm deals the 2-2 pitch in the dirt. That brings the count full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Other thing that Miller rarely does is strike out. Great contact hitter, has a good eye for the ball. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Down goes Miller, and I guess I jinxed it. Oaks lead their half of the inning with a strikeout. Denholm gets one on the board, and he seems to pick up where Lanning left off on the Oaks side when he struck out the last two batters on the Puff Caps half of the first inning as Jason Oliver steps in.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful pitch from Denholm upstairs. Fastball on the inside corner.
As Oliver takes a pitch for a ball. Oliver back in the lineup after a 5-game break. He was actually sent home to get some MRIs, but he's back and healthy as the 1-0 pitch is taken inside 2-0. He has pinch run twice since he was in the starting lineup. One of the faster Oaks on the season for Oliver. As the 2-0 pitch runs upstairs as well, 3-0. Batting .360 for the Oaks. He does have a home run that was an in-the-park home run. 10 RBIs. He was walked a total of 3 times, but he struck out 15 times, which is good for second on the team. 3-0 pitch taken at the belt for strike one.
Yeah, and one of the areas that he's looking to improve upon is not striking out. It's one thing to make contact and ground in the infield, but he strikes out a lot.
3-1 pitch is a chopper over to short. Trey Cruz gloves it and glides it over into the glove of Brewster at at first for out number 2.
Batting third today for your Oaks, shortstop from San Diego State.
6-3 on the putout, and now there are 2 quick outs here for Grant Mayu from San Diego State. Mayu did not play this past season at San Diego State, had foot surgery in the offseason and just decided to rehab. Batting .325 on the season for the Oaks. 10 RBIs as well with a home run. Coming set is Denholm, and he deals the first pitch. It's hit over to right field, but Beck is going to get under it for out number 3. The Puff Caps retire the Oaks in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 1 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. No score. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back.
First baseman attending Stanford next fall.
Back here in the top of the second inning, Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, delighted to be with you on a beautiful Thursday afternoon in the Conejo Valley. Oaks and Puff Caps all knotted up at 0 as Nick Brewster steps in. First baseman today's game takes a ball from landing in the dirt. For Brewster. Coming in the number 4 spot today as he waits on the 1-0 pitch low as well for ball number 2. Headed to Stanford in the fall. And it possesses plenty of power to knock one out if he gets a pitch as the 2-0 pitch runs low and in for ball 3.
Yeah, not to mention he likes to crowd the plate. Big at bat.
3-0 pitch taken at the knees for a strike. Bruja is his nickname in the dugout as Lanning deals 3-1 pitch that just misses the outside corner for ball 4. So Lanning had 2 strikeouts in the top of the first. Here in the top of the second, he leads things off on the Oaks defensive side with a walk up to Nick Brewster, who strides over to first base. And Zach Presno, headed to Fresno State in the fall, will step in here for the Puff Caps. Opportunity now with a runner on and nobody away. Oaks middle infield playing in double play formation. First pitch in is taken for a strike at the belt. Oaks in their navy blue uniforms with white letters on the front outlined by baby blue and white letters on the back. Puff Caps in all blacks with a gray OK sign made by hand as the 0-1 pitch is taken on the inside corner for a strike. Outlined by green with gray numbers on the back, outlined by green as well. Runner on first, nobody away, 0-2 count to Presno as Lanning checks the runner on first, kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch. It's a curveball in the dirt, it gets behind Castro, and running over to second on the wild pitch is Brewster. 1-2 on the board, and now a runner in scoring position for the Puff Caps.
Yeah, not the way you want to start off the top of the second. If you're the Oaks, you can't afford to give teams, especially with nobody away, a free lane over at second.
1-2 count, Lanning toes the rubber gloves the ball, checks the runner at second base, and fires the 1-2 pitch upstairs for ball two. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff on Twitter, or interact with us on our YouTube page. Live chat box up in the upper right-hand corner. The 2-2 pitch is popped into right center field. Running back on it is Oliver, and he makes the grab at the warning track, but tagging on the play is Brewster. So a productive out there for Presno, and now there's a runner 90 feet away from scoring position with only one away.
Yeah, and if you're the Puff Caps, obviously you'd love to get a home run, but if you can't, that's a perfect ball. You hit it deep into right field, and that way, even if the Oaks do make the catch, at least it gives your runner from second time to advance over to third.
That's going to make way now for Brendan Beck, headed to Stanford in the fall. First pitch in from Lanning, it runs upstairs for ball one. 1-0 count, one on. One-0 pitch, taken at the knees for a strike. Wind blowing out to right. Nice turnout here on both sides, actually, for the Oaks and for the Puff Caps. Probably about 100 in attendance. 1-1 pitch in from Lanning is waved foul for strike number two. Runner on third, one away. Both teams with no hits, no runs, no errors, but that runner on third was due to a walk. 1-2 pitch runs upstairs for ball two.
And the one thing that the Puff Caps already are doing a nice job of is laying off a number of these pitches, staying patient in the batter's box.
Lanning deals the 2-2 pitch, and it one is looped in the left field. Going back to the wall, coming in is Brewster, rounding first and trying to make the play, or trying to get to second base, was Beck, but he's going to be held up at first after the ball was cut off by Beam out in left. So that'll be an RBI single for the Puff Caps, and they take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, nice job from Beck. Saw the gap in left. Just lightly enabled it to drop, bringing home the run.
Tate Soderstrom steps in now, headed to the University of Arizona in the fall. Speaking of University of Arizona, Oaks closer Robbie Medell, who has a day off today, will come in for some play-by-play in the 6th and 7th innings as Soderstrom tips the first pitch he sees foul for strike number one. Runner on first base in the form of Brandon Beck. 0-1 count, lefty on lefty matchup as Lanning deals the 0-1 pitch in the dirt for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. 1-1, 1 hit, no errors here for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks in the top of the second inning. Lanning checks that runner at first and fires the 1-1 pitch, and it's a high hopper over to Pickett at second. He is not going to make the play to second, and instead will underhand it to Santana at first for the sure out. 2 away on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, it's one of those situations for Pickett. He's got forward momentum, so if he were to try and turn his body opposite to throw it to second, it you risk the chance of not getting there in time and, in addition, missing out on an easy play over to first.
Brett Bragano now stepping in from, or actually headed to Fullerton as the 1-0 pitch drops low for ball one. Most of these guys just graduated high school and now are headed to some of the best colleges in the country. Quite talented young players as the 1-0 pitch from Lanning is taken inside for ball two. Lanning checks that runner in second and fires the 2-0 pitch. It's waved at and missed for strike number one. On deck, Dante Williams in the hole. Trey Cruz, should we get that far? We're in the 8th spot in the lineup here for the Puff Caps. They lead 1-0. 2-1 count as Lanning fires. Runner goes. It's a slow roller back to the mound where Lanning will get it and quickly turn and fire to Santana in time for out number 3. Nonetheless, the Puff Caps strike for 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 left on base. We're through 1.5 here from Sparky Anderson Field. 1-0 our score, but the Oaks looking to change that in their half of the inning. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Middle of the order due up here for the Oaks. 4, 5, and 6 batters. Cody Santana steps in, making his debut in the cleanup spot. Puff Caps up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Trenton Denholm back on the mound as he fires the first pitch to the lefty, and it's hit deep to center field. Actually not that deep, as Dante Williams will just make a couple of steps backwards and make the catch for out number 1. It looked deep coming off the bat, but more popped up than powered over.
Yeah, not to mention a lot of that is attributed to the wind. There's probably 5 to 7 mile an hour wind gusts blowing to right. So if you're aiming to hit that one over the center wall, you're going to take a big at bat.
Jordan McFarland takes the first pitch he sees at the knees for a strike from the University of Arkansas on the season, batting .200. No home runs, 4 RBIs. As the 0-1 pitch is taken low and outside. Check swing, they say he didn't go. And that'll put a ball up on the board. Once across the board now, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Puff Caps. Nothing across the board for the Oaks. The 1-1 pitch is taken outside for ball 2. Lay of the land here for the Puff Caps. Brendan Beck in right, Dante Williams in center. Tate Soderstrom in left. I'll give you the infield here in just a moment. As Denholm deals the 2-1 pitch, it's cracked into shallow center field, and it's going to be caught on a leaping grab by Trey Cruz out of short. Phenomenal play from the Rice shortstop, and now there are 2 away.
Yeah, for a second it looked like McFarland might have hit that just far enough into shallow center, but Trey Cruz able to see that and follow that ball the entire way into his glove.
Rest of the field for you here is Milo Beam steps in from Purdue and waves at the first pitch, fouling it out of play for strike one. Nick Brewster at first. Brett Bergano at second. Trey Cruz at short. Quentin Selma at third. Behind the dish is Zach Presno as the 0-1 pitch is taken right over the heart of the plate for a strike. And Trenton Denholm on the mound. 2 away. 0-2 count here. 2 Beam as the 0-2 pitch is dealt outside for ball one. Very vocal Puff Cap bench, and normally in the CCL when you see something like that, when they're all standing out of the dugout, the umpire will warn them, but letting them do that here today. The 1-2 pitch in is waved towards left field, but foul, and we'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Not to mention, typically the entire team would stand if this is like an 8th or 9th inning, but this is the 2nd inning. They are loud and cheering their team on.
1-2 pitch into Beam is a curveball waved out and missed for strike 3. Down goes Beam, and Denholm is cruising, retiring the first 6 Oaks he's seen. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and quickly through the 2nd inning, Puff Caps leading 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. One nothing our score here in the top of the third. Puff Caps lead it. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, my name is Jonathan Rifkin, and the Puff Caps number 9 hitter Dante Williams, who will attend the University of Arizona in the fall, steps in. Puff Caps lead 1-0. The Oaks having trouble trying to corral any sort of offense here on their side of the inning as Lanning deals the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Puff Caps with 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Oaks have no runs, no hits, no errors. A 1 in from Lanning is a curveball outside for ball 1. Oaks open up today, the first of 3 games against the Puff Caps before ending the weekend in Ventura against the Halos. The 1-1 pitch bounces in the dirt in front of the plate. And there's 2 balls and 1 strike up on the board now. Infield playing deep here. Pickett's in the right field grass. Over at second base, Santana playing as well in the grass. 2-1 pitch from Lanning is a 2-hopper over to first, but it's going to go foul before Santana can glove it, and that'll even the count at 2-2.
Yeah, it looks like Williams clipped the bottom part of his right foot as he's walking back and grabbing it just to make sure he's all right, trying to shake it off.
Shout out to all the Puff Caps fans watching. We know that they have a big fan base, and we definitely appreciate you taking the time to watch your team. And, of course, we always appreciate all the Oaks fans as well. 2-2 pitch in from Lanning is waved into left field for a leadoff single. Dante Williams, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, able to go opposite field, getting it in between Shaken and Mayu. to give the Puff Caps a base runner here with nobody away, and Trey Cruz, 0 for 1 on the day, stepping in.
Yeah, just a great hit from Williams into opposite field, and he saw that gap. Mayu was shifting a little towards Pickett's, closer to the second base tag, so he saw that gap.
Able to swing quickly on that fastball. Cruz steps in and takes the first pitch at the knees for his strike. Nate Wenner is tossing some in the Oaks bullpen, but I very much doubt he's going to pitch today, as he is the Sunday starter for the Oaks. Actually, Saturday starter, I should say, so he would be seen on Saturday in Conejo Creek. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back against the wall. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. Puff Caps being very vocal in their dugout as Lanning checks the runner at first and fires. The 0-2 pitch, runner goes, and it's a one-hopper over to the mound. Lanning has nowhere to go as he tries to beat out the runner. He's safe, and advancing on the play from second to third was Williams. Miscommunication over there between Lanning and Santana allows an infield single to take place for the Puff Caps. Runners at the corners now with nobody away, and a runner 90 feet away from giving the Puff Caps some insurance here in this one.
Yeah, just miscommunication from Santana and Lanning. No one called each other off, so they both were running towards that ball in the infield expecting someone to lay off, but instead Lanning gets there first and no one to throw it to at first.
Bryce Bennett steps in, takes the pitch forward. Ball, the throws, the runner goes, is not in time. Trey Cruz swipes second base, eliminates the double play threat. And it was actually called a strike after the throw. Interesting call here from the home plate umpire. He didn't call it a strike at the very beginning. 0-1 count, I guess. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. As the 0-1 pitch is taken into shallow center field. That gets down. 1 run comes in. Holding up at third base is Cruz. And Bryce Bennett, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout, is now 1 for 2 with an RBI single, and the Puff Caps take a 2-0 lead here.
Yeah, Puff Caps doing a nice job establishing themselves early, generating hits, and that's what we've talked about with the Oaks. Comes down to the first 3 innings for them. That's typically their do or die moment, and right now, the Puff Caps playing like it.
Quentin Selma steps in. He was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Lanning checks the runner at first and fires the 0-1 pitch at 94 miles an hour low, though, and outside for ball 1. Puff Caps with 3 consecutive hits to start off the inning. Runners at the corners, nobody away. 1 run already around in this top of the third. Lanning checks the runner at first and will make a pickoff attempt. Hesitating on the play was Bennett, but he's still able to get back in time. So no damage done there.
Yeah, Lanning's actually really good at picking off runners at first precisely because of his left hand.
1-0 pitch is a chopper into foul territory. Gloved by one of the players in the dugout for the Puff Caps. 1-1 the count now. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody away. Runners at the corners. Puff Caps lead 2-0 here in the top of the third inning. Reminder that for the 6th and 7th inning of today, Oaks star closer and CCL leader in saves, Robbie Medell, will do some play-by-play as the 1-1 pitch is hit into left field, but foul. It gets down the left field line, and that'll give Lanning the edge here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last year, these 2 teams played. Oaks took all 3 of those games, including a 18-2 win at Conejo Creek. Lanning deals the 1-2 pitch, just taken a little bit outside for ball 2.
Yeah, that's a close call. I thought that ball might have clipped the outside corner, but I guess the tail at the end of it drifted it a little outside.
Lanning comes set, checks that runner at first. Pearson fires the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. It's ripped into shallow right field. Comes down, rounding third and coming home is Cruz. And that's going to be the 4th consecutive hit here for the Puff Caps. They take a 3-0 lead, and once again, runners at the corners with nobody away, as Coach David Solis has seen enough. They're obviously not going to pull Lanning, but he is going to have a conversation with the Texas Tech Red Raider.
Yeah, it's just a tough start for Lanning. 4 consecutive hits. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored in just this inning alone. Not to mention with nobody away and still another runner on third. Just a tough situation. You're looking to probably give up another run, but hopefully you can salvage that and just give up the 1 run. Try and force a double play.
Lanning with 2 strikeouts, a walk, has also given up 3 runs and 5 hits here in the top of the 3rd inning. Oaks riding a 3-game winning streak. The Puff Caps come into today's game with a 10-1 record. They have played a couple of CCL teams as the meeting breaks on the mound. They're coming also off a win against the Solano Cats, back on the 28th of the month, so yesterday. They beat the Raleigh Factory Rockhounds and the Net2 Beach Pearl. Their 1 loss on the season came to the Walnut Creek Crawdads back on the 21st, 6-1. A lot of talent on this team. They're putting it on display here. Meeting breaks, Lanning's ready. Nick Brewster steps in 0 for 0 on the day with a walk. Straight on third as the pickoff attempt comes late. Sliding back safely is Selma. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. And it comes set again and deals the first pitch to Brewster on the inside corner for a strike. On deck, Zach Presno in the hole, Brendan Beck. 4 straight hits here for the Puff Caps have given them a 3-0 lead. The Oaks have come back from 5-1 deficits as the 0-1 pitch is swung and a miss for strike number 2, but that was the most that they've come back by. I would expect that the Puff Caps, should they plate another run, put all the pressure on the Oaks. 3-0 lead is still manageable, especially this early in the game, but you give up more and now the pressure's on. 0-2 pitch is popped out of play, and we'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes.
I think the pressure's already on, but it'll be important for the Oaks to see if they can, 1, get out of this inning, but be able to rebound and generate some hits of their own in the bottom of the 3rd.
Lanning deals the 0-2 pitch upstairs for ball 1. No Oaks pitcher still getting loose. Nate Wenner is standing out there, but again, I think he's just throwing bullpen to get ready for his start on Saturday. 1-2 count to Brewster, headed to Stanford in the fall. 1-2 pitches in, and it's hit to right field. Oliver is going to make the dive and can't make the catch. Coming in and scoring is Bennon. And that will lead to another run as well as another hit here. They're not going to give Oliver the error because he did dive. So an RBI single for Brewster gives the Puff Caps a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 1st inning.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Nice job from Brewster hitting that. And the problem for Oliver was the sun was kind of getting in his eyes.
The first pitch into Presno is hit in a shallow right field. Coming around third and heading home is Selma. The throw is not going to go home. Instead, it'll go to third. And that's another RBI single here for the Puff Caps. They take a 5-0 lead. They have hit 6 straight hits with nobody away.
Number 23, Brendan.
And Lanning is really struggling here on the mound for the Oaks. Runners on first and third now. Nobody away. And now the 7th batter of the inning stepping in. Lanning deals to Brendan Beck. He shows bump, pulls back, pitches low for ball 1. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks here in the top of the 3rd inning. 5-0 our score. Beck also headed to Stanford in the fall. 1 for 1 on the day. Takes the 0-1 pitch at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. He led the first RBI of the game back in the 2nd inning. Lanning comes set, checks that runner at first, and fires the 1-1 pitch, and it's hit into shallow right field as well. Coming in and scoring is Brewster, rounding second and going to third and getting there safely is Presno. And another RBI single gives the Puff Caps a 6-0 lead.
That's the 5th consecutive RBI single from the Puff Caps. They're just seeing the field excellently.
27, Tate Soderstrom.
And that's going to bring up Tate Soderstrom in the 7th spot, the 8th batter of the inning. Grounded out to second his first time up. Nobody away. 5 runs around in the inning as Lanning deals a curveball taken on the inside corner for strike number 1. Dante Williams in the number 9 spot led things off with a single. Trey Cruz also had a single. Bryce Brennan singled as though one pitches in the dirt. Runner goes, and it's going to be blocked by Castro and no throw, allowing Beck to get in safely. So now runners in second and third, 1-1 count, nobody away. 6-0 score here for the Puff Caps. As now the Oaks have a couple of guys warming up in the bullpen. It looks like Angus Denton from the University of Arkansas. 1-1 pitch is waved out and missed for strike number 2. So we'll see how tight the leash is on here for Lanning now as Denton really begins to get warm. We're only in the top of the 3rd inning, 5-0 our score. Coming set on the mound is Lanning. And he deals the 1-2 pitch in the dirt for ball number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Or excuse me, no away, 2 on. 6-0 score, 8 hits through the first 3 innings. And we're not even an out in the 3rd inning. Rough start here for Lanning. The 2-2 pitch is fouled off the shoulder of Soderstrom, and we'll do it again out 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and if you're Lanning, you'll feel a lot better of yourself. You can see one just grounder in the infield, easy out, just get your confidence back. Try and forget about the couple hits that you gave up before.
6 singles in the inning and a walk here as the 2-2 pitch is hit high to center field, but Miller's going to have plenty of room to get under it. Tagging on the play is Presno as well as Beck, and they both get in safely. So an RBI sacrifice by Soderstrom gives the Puff Caps a 7-0 lead.
Now batting, number 4, Brett Borgogno.
Productive out here for the Puff Caps. Oaks still struggling with a runner on third base and 1 away. Now Brett Borgogno going to step in 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch in from Lanning is waved at, foul tipped into the glove of Castro for strike number 1. 0-1 the count, runner on third. The number 9 batter of the inning. 0-1 pitch from Lanning is foul tipped off the screen. And 0-2 is the count. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. As the lefty toes the rubber and fires the 0-2 pitch in, and it's a chopper over to the mound. The throw is not going to get there in time. Borgogno beats it out for an infield single, and now we're through the entire order and back to where we started in the inning. Runners on first and third, 1 away, 7-0 our score, and the man who started it all here for the Puff Caps, Dante Williams, with a single and a run scored, will step back in for the 2nd time in the inning. This is the first time that the Oaks have allowed the opposite team to bat around this season. 6 runs in the inning. Lanning deals the first pitch. Williams shows bunt, pulls back, and it's called a ball. Trey Cruz on deck, Bryce Bannon in the hole. Long inning here for the lefty. As he deals, runner goes, 1-0 pitch is taken high for a ball. The throw is off to Mayu's left, and that will be a stolen base for Borgogno. That eliminates that double play threat, and this has just been a brutal inning for the Oaks. Everything that they could do wrong, minus errors in the field, they have done. It's been a struggle on the mound for Lanning, and even that throw from Castro is off. The 2-0 pitch is taken in the dirt for ball 3. Now Lanning is very much behind in the count. 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, it's certainly been a rough one for Lanning, to say the least.
3 balls, no strikes, 1 away, 2 on. 3-0 pitch is in the dirt as well for ball 4. So Dante Williams is still 1 for 1 on the game and 1 for 1 in the inning. 2nd walk drawn for the Puff Caps on the game. And we're back to the top of the order for Trade Cruz, as it looks like Landing's day is going to be done. Denton will be called, and we're going to take a break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Bases are loaded with only one away, and Erickton Landing is going to stride back to the bench. Puff Caps lead at 7-0. We'll be right back. Trey Cruz comes back in here with bases loaded, one away, 7-0 our score, 6 runs around in the inning for the Puff Caps. New man on the mound for the Oaks is Angus Denton from the University of Arkansas. As he comes set, I'll give you his last outing in just a minute as the first pitch is taken low for ball 1. Last time we saw Denton on the mound in relief appearance was against the Orange County Riptide 2 games ago. In 2 2/3 innings pitch, he gave 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. She comes set, checks that runner at second, fires the 1-0 pitch. A breaking ball on the outside corner taken for strike number 1. On the day for Landing, he went 2 1/3, gave up 9 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Denton comes set again. Checks back at second and fires the 1-1 pitch taken at the knees for strike number 2. He also pitched against the Foresters back on Saturday last week. Went an inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs, and 1 strikeout, along with no walks. Very productive relief pitcher for the Oaks. As he deals the 1-2 pitch, it's a beautiful slider, waved at and missed for strike 3. Down goes Cruz. The first strikeout on the game for Denton, and Bryce Bonin will step in now with 2 away and bases loaded.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to see, especially if your entire Oaks team get a strikeout, now 2 away, try and get out of this inning just down 7-0, which is a large number, but just try and chip away as best as you can.
Bonin on the day, 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a strikeout. He takes the one over to short. Mayu will take it over to second himself, finally, for out number 3. 11 batters come around in the inning to result in a total of 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. We're through 2.5 here from Sparky Anderson Field. Puff Caps lead it 7-0. 7-0 our score here.
So number 25, Sam.
Puff Caps lead the Oaks. They have 9 hits, no runs, or no errors. Oaks have no runs, no hits, no errors, and they look to change at least part of that here as Sam Shakin steps in from Valparaiso, batting .300 on the season. Going with 3 RBIs as well. Excuse me, as the first pitch in from Denholm was taken up and in for ball number 1. Puff Caps with a long inning. 12 batters came up, resulting in 6 runs and 8 hits. 1-0 pitch from Denholm runs up towards the head of the Valparaiso product. 2-0 the count. Shakin playing third base in today's game. Both Chase Cockrell and Brandon Lewis not available for the Oaks. As Denholm comes set, Pearson fires the 2-0 pitch at the knees for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike now.
Yeah, and it'll be crucial if Shakin can lead things off here with a base hit or even a walk just to rejuvenate this Oaks dugout.
2-1 pitch in. It runs at the letters, and it seemed like that ball was pulled back in by Presno, but the umpire gave him a strike anyways. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well placed ball there from the catcher. Denholm deals the 2-2 pitch. And it's a 2-hopper over to Bergano at second. He'll fire it to Brewster at first in time for quick out number 1. The Oaks are batting .304 collectively coming into this game. That leads the CCL. And it's quite a batting average, but they have been unable to generate any sort of offense here. And it's really hurting them as Will Pickett steps in, batting .208 on the season. 2 RBIs, 12 runs scored, which is tied for second on the team. He also has 4 walks, and he's been hit by 4 balls, which leads the team as he almost got hit by 1 there. A fastball runs up near the shoulder for ball 1. Also has yet to strike out more than 1 time in some of these games. 3 total strikeouts on the season. 1-0 pitch is hit up the middle, but caught by Denholm, and he'll run it over to Brewster for out number 2.
Well, once again, Pickett's going away from the recipe of success for the Oaks, which is not swinging typically on the first pitch you see. And unfortunately, that's why grounded over to pitcher and lightly tossed it to first for a nice out.
Jacob Castro in the number 9 spot, stepping in. Headed to UC Irvine in the fall, where he'll be playing with Trenton Denholm. Both of them just graduated high school. Rio Mesa is where Castro made his home for the last 4 years. As both UC Irvine Anteaters duke it out here. Denholm deals a fastball taken on the inside corner for strike number 1. On the season for Castro, batting .250 with 4 RBIs and 4 runs scored. 0-1 pitch is taken as well at the knees for strike number 2. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Denholm comes set and fires the 0-2 pitch. It's fouled towards left field and out of play. So we'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes.
Those are 3 beautiful pitches, 92, 91, 91. Fastballs all up and inside. Castro able to fight that one off.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Denholm comes set and fires the 0-2 pitch. A beautiful slider, swung it and missed for strike 3. Down goes Castro. 2 strikeouts on the game for Denholm. And the Oaks have been retired 9 straight here to start the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the 3rd straight time. Puff Caps lead it 7-0. We're headed to the 4th inning. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. Once again, 7-0 the score as we hit the break. Back here on the top of the fourth inning, Puff Caps up over the Oaks 7-0. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, and for play-by-play of the fourth and fifth innings, my broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkin.
Thank you, Jonathan, and we'll quickly get things started here in the top of the fourth as the Oaks trail 7-0 on that scoring avalanche from the Puff Caps in the top of the third. 1-0 pitch hit right into the glove of Mayu for out number one. That was Bryce Bonin quickly stepping in and hitting the second pitch over to Mayu. Quentin Selma.
Number 24, Nick Bruiser.
Well, that was actually Selma hitting into the glove of Mayu, and Nick Bruiser, who's 1 for 1 on the day, takes that pitch for strike one. Unbelievable, an RBI and 2 runs scored for the Stanford product as he grounds that one out of play for strike two. Zach Presno on deck. Brendan Beck in the hole. Denton was quickly inserted in the top of the third and had 1 strikeout. As the 0-2 slider grounded to Mayu at short, and he'll toss it over to first to make a play once again for out number 2. So nice consecutive plays from Mayu, trying to rejuvenate this Oaks infield and the entire team.
It hasn't really been the Oaks infield that's been the problem. It's been the Oaks pitchers leaving balls out over the heart of the plate, allowing these Puff Caps batters to rope them into areas where there are no players, and that's why they've largely built this lead.
Zach Presno steps in and watches that slider upstairs and away for ball one. Presno, the Fresno State product, commit in the fall. Fouls the 1-0 pitch out of play for strike one. He's 1 for 2 as well, and with an RBI, and it's unbelievable. There was a stretch of 6 consecutive RBIs for the Puff Caps. 6 consecutive batters, 6 consecutive RBIs. 1-1 pitch slides away and swung on for strike two. Denton has done a fine job so far. Such a difficult pitcher with his sidearm, likes to use the slider. Doesn't throw for speed, but for accuracy. 1-2, cut on and missed once again for strike three. So a couple groundouts and a strikeouts ends the top of the fourth quickly as the Oaks down 7-0. We'll take a short break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV.
Now batting number 4, DJ Miller.
Bottom of the fourth. Oaks trailing the Puff Cats 7-0. DJ Miller, the leadoff. Jason Oliver on deck, and Grant Mayu in the hole. Trenton Denholm still on the mound. It's pitched exceptionally as he sets and fires that one in the ground for ball one. He's been unbelievable in a little over 3 innings pitched. Hasn't given up any hits, no runs, and 3 strikeouts for the UC Irvine Anteater. 1-0 pitch, drops below the strike zone for ball 2. Miller coming off an impressive 4 of 5 performance against the Orange County Riptide a few days ago. Had 3 RBIs and 2-run scores as he fouls that one back against the screen for strike 1. He's been one of the most reliable hitters for the Oaks this entire season, an on-base threat. Soft-spoken, but everyone knows the importance of him. 2-1 pitch, cut on and out of play for strike 2. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but that's how he started off against the Riptide. He swings on the 2-2 pitch. The third baseman's going to glove it and toss it to first for out number 1. So Selma called off Cruz at the last minute to make the play.
Now batting, number 21, Jason.
Yeah,
Oliver.
10 straight now retired here for Denholm. And it seems like these Oaks batters are just a little lackluster in the batter's box, not really attempting to put those balls in a spot where it can get down and they can at least get on base, just kind of half-heartedly swing at these pitches.
Jason Oliver will step in and show bunt, but takes that pitch upstairs for ball 1. Oliver came in briefly in yesterday's contest against the Halos to pinch run, had a stolen base. Runs ahead of the 1-0 pitch, taken for strike 1.
Yeah, good punt attempt from Oliver. I'd like to see him get that down next time. It was a curveball. He thought it was going to hang up, but at last second drop came a strike.
1-1 pitch taken outside for ball 2. Oliver batting .360 on the season, although does struggle at times striking out. But looking to improve that here. Shows bunt once again and taken inside for strike 2. And he's another one of these players similar to Miller. If he can get on base, he is so deadly. He's got 4 stolen bases for himself on the season. 2-2 pitch, runs upstairs and away for ball 3. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Denholm. His median pitch speed has been 91. Payoff pitch, low on the ground for ball 4, and Oliver will get walked over to first in a much-needed sight for this Oaks dugout. That's the first runner or base player to even get on base for the Oaks in this one.
Yeah, the first base runner here for the Oaks, and if you're going to have somebody on base, at least it's somebody who can get around. Like you said, Jonah, 4 for 5 on the season in stolen bases. Oliver gets a great jump. Let's see if they send him here or if Mayo can get a ball in play.
Grant Mayo will step in and quickly swing on the 0-0 pitch. Popped into shallow right. Beck will make the play and hold up Oliver over at first for out number 2. So Mayu saw the first pitch he saw and swung on it. And we've talked about it, Johnny, whether or not it's a good ball to swing on and it's a good pitch. We'd hope to see a little more patience, perhaps, with the Oaks in the batter's box.
I kind of disagree with you there, Jonah. If it's a good pitch, I think they should swing on it, and that's why you see Max Weinstein, who's not in today's lineup, be so successful at those first pitch strikes because he ropes them in the field. But I agree. I think at times they do get a little bit ahead of themselves.
Santana takes that pitch for strike 1. And certainly if it's a optimal ball, for sure, and Weinstein certainly exemplifies that. He's incredible. Normally likes to swing on the first 1 or 2 pitches. So runner at first and Santana stepping in an 0-1 count. Back pick attempt, or pickoff attempt comes late. Nice deception from Denholm. Looked like he was going to throw it. At the last second, threw it over to Brewser.
Yeah, very elusive pick there, but Oliver with enough jump to get back.
0-1 pitch taken upstairs for ball 1. Santana's 0 for 1 as well. The fly out to center. Denholm's retired 3 batters as he attempts the pickoff. And not going to get there in time. Brewser thought he had him. Was starting to strut over to the Puff Caps dugout. Fortunately for the Oaks, that wasn't the case. So runners, 1 runner on first. 1-2 curveball just misses the outside corner for strike for ball 2. Santana struggled yesterday or a couple days ago against the Halos, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Dendenholm sets and fires the 2-1 pitch. That's grounded over the first baseline to fair territory. Oliver's going to come around to third, and that's the first hit generated by the Oaks all day.
Yeah, Cody Santana making his debut in the cleanup spot for the Oaks, sees an inside fastball, and instead of popping it over to right like he tends to do, he hit it towards the ground and got that high bounce over Brewster's head, allowing him to get the first and the speed of Oliver to get from first to third on that.
And although it's not a run just yet, if the Oaks can manage to put one on the boards, they'll feel a lot better about themselves and about this lead as it currently stands at 7-0. McFarland steps in and takes that pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. McFarland 0 for 1 as well. But we did see a sighting from him against the Halos, went 2 for 5 with a stolen base. So Oliver takes a big lead off third. 0-1 curveball fouled out of play for strike 2.
Yeah, Oliver with a little bit of deception out there at third. I wish we had another camera so we could show you. He'll take a giant running start towards about the midway point of the base path, and as soon as Denholm looks towards him, he'll run all the way back to third base. It's pretty funny, actually.
Denholm fires the 0-2 pitch just below the strike zone for ball 1. And one of the reasons Oliver likes to do that, perhaps, just catch the peripheral vision of the pitcher, let him know that he's there. So runners on the corners, McFarland in a 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. So the Oaks leave 2 on no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. They're still down 7-0 as we're through 4 full here at Spark Anderson Field. We'll take a short break. Six, 7, and 8 batters for the Puff Caps as Brendan Beck bunted that one out of play for strike 1. So Beck stepping in, Tate Soderstrom on deck, and Brett Bergogno in the hole for the Puff Caps to get things started here in the top of the 5th as Denton's slider catches the inside for strike 2. Oaks still down 7-0. Had an opportunity in the bottom of the 4th with runners on the corners but couldn't convert. 0-2 slider popped deep into center. Miller's going to get underneath it, and Oliver is going to call him off and make the catch. So a ball that started off into center drifted to right center. Looked like Miller might have tried to make the catch, but Oliver called him off at the last second.
Now batting number 27.
Yeah, Oliver just thought he had a better read on it out there and right. Able to prove that by making the catch. Miller at the last second, jumping out of the way. And that happens in the field sometimes when you have two players colliding directly in the center between your two positions. The last minute, one will get away.
Soderstrom takes that pitch outside for strike one. He's 0 for 1 on the day with an RBI sacrifice flyout. As the 0-1 pitch drops below the strike zone for ball one. Denton, in his limited time in an inning and 2/3, has 2 strikeouts and no hits or no runs. That one's cut on and missed for strike 2. Denton's pitched extremely well. He's been one of the most productive and efficient relievers for the Oaks all season. 1-2 pitch, fouled out of play, and we'll do it again. And at this point, Coach Solis just looking to prevent perhaps any more runs coming in. That's why he's inserted Denton on the mound. The 1-2 pitch fouled against the screen again. Soderstrom, the left fielder, playing at Arizona in the fall, batted an impressive .420 for Turlock High School this past season. First team All-CCB. Also made the All-Star team. And chops the 1-2 pitch over to third. Shakin will glove it and throw it to Santana at first for out number 2.
Nice inside pitch there. Forced Soderstrom to swing early on it and get that easy 2-hopper over to Shakin, who is a masterful fielder. Able to whip it across the diamond for out number 2.
It's actually the first time Shakin has started at third baseman. He's played it before, but typically starts at short and then inserted. As Denton's 0-0 pitch runs low for ball one, he fell off the mound a bit. Bergogno wisely laid off it. He's 1 for 2 with a stolen base, which was the 3rd stolen base for the Pupcaps in that inning. As he swings on the 1-0 pitch that just drops out of fair play for strike one.
Yeah, it looked like he fouled it off his right foot. You see him limping there, Jonah. As soon as he came off of it, you could tell that that ball, especially with the alternate spin, came right off of that plantar fascia on that right foot, and he's really in a little bit of pain. He's going to stride back in, but limping just a little bit.
Chino Hills, California native, in a 1-1 count, takes that pitch for strike 2. Going to play at Cal State Fullerton in the fall. Denton's 1-2 cut on and missed for strike 3. So Denton retires 3 in a row as the Puffcats score no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. But they lead 7-0 as we're through 4.5. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll Seven nothing ball game here in the bottom of the 5th Oaks trailing the Puff Cats. Milo Beam stepping into the plate to lead off. Sam Shaken on deck, and Will Pickett's in the hole. But the Purdue Boilermaker looking to try and get things going for the Oaks in the bottom of the fifth. As he shows bunt, bunts it in the infield. Pitcher is going to get it and toss it to first, not in time. So Beam make that his fourth successful bunt on the season. That is an unbelievable stat, Jonathan.
Yeah, he is very good at getting that jump. He saw the pitch he wanted right off the bat, literally. Was able to place it down that third base line where both Denholm and Fresno waited on it, and by the time Fresno threw it over, Beam was already across the bag.
So positive start. Beam at first, Shaken takes that pitch for strike one. For the Valparaiso product, he's looking to generate some hitting streak potentially for the Oaks, as he's 0 for 1. Denholm sets and fires the 0-1. That runs outside for ball one. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Shaken struggled, was 0 for 2 2 days ago against the Halos, but did have an RBI. Denholm will check. Runner's going to go. Shaken hits that in the gap. Beam's going to come around and stay over at second. So back-to-back hits for the Oaks brings some life here at Sparky Anderson Field.
This is a way here for the Oaks to kick things off in the middle part of this game. If they're going to come back, it has to start here in the fifth inning, because as we get towards the end of the game, the harder it'll be for them to make up the deficit that is currently 7 runs. And with the bottom of the order up right now, it's really important that they could get to that top of the order with as minimal damage done by the Puff Caps as possible. And right here with Pickett's in, a perfect spot to get a run or two on the board.
Pickett's 0 for 1 on the day. Bunts that in the infield to third. Gloving it to first. Not going to get there in time. So runners will advance to second and third. And Pickett brings the bases loaded for the Oaks here in the bottom of the fifth.
And now it's the Irvine Anteater versus the Irvine Anteater, and both of them have yet to play ball there as they both graduated from high school. Denholm on the mound and Castro in the batter's box with bases loaded. What a big at-bat here, because like I said, down 7, if the Oaks can cut that lead even to 5 at the end of this inning, they at least get 2 runs up on the board. That would be a successful inning here.
Castro.
As you see for the Puff Caps, their head coach, Mike Zarelli, is going to step up.
Yeah, and not to mention Castro, the last time he started for the Oaks against the Long Beach Legends, he hit a solo home run in the bottom of the fifth. That gave the Oaks that 2-0 lead, and if he could maybe not hit a homer, but just hit something in the infield that drops, that could be another huge momentum swing that the Oaks desperately need.
You'd also get a pop out over to right field, I think, with that speedy Milo Beam at third base. Even something mid-outfield could probably score him as long as it's not over to left field.
So bases loaded. Beam at third, Shaken at second. Pickett's at third. Castro hits that one deep into right, but it's just going to sail out of play.
Saw the first pitch that he liked, a fastball in the inside corner, but swung on it a little bit too early.
So 0-1 the count, and that's where Castro hit his homer a few days ago, was over that right part of the wall, and the entire Oaks bench and fan base were standing up on that one, as Castro had a good swing on it. So nobody away, bases loaded. 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Oh, beautiful curveball, started at the belt, dropped into the dirt, but Castro swung right through it, unable to even lay any part of the bat on the ball.
Denholm, after going 4 innings without giving anything, he's given up 3 hits. Sets and fires the 0-2, runs low for ball 1. And it's interesting because 2 of those so-called hits were just bunts that were perfectly placed in the infield. Here comes the 1-2 slider, hit up the middle for a base hit. Beam's going to come around, Shaken going to come around as well. Here comes the throw, not in time. 2 RBI single for Jacob Castro, and the Oaks now down 7-2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, man, what a lucky hit there if I've ever seen one. That ball went right back to Denholm at the mound, but he was out of position, and instead of trying to glove it, he spun out of the way, and with no middle infielders to back him up, that ball just rolled into shallow center field, allowing both of those Oaks runs to come in. And now this inning emulating what the Puff Caps did back in the 3rd inning. Nobody away, runners on 1st and 2nd, and 2 runs in the inning so far.
And the entire infield and Coach Zarelli will have a meeting on the mound. And you're right, Johnny. We saw in a no out situation for the Puff Caps, they were able to generate 6 consecutive RBI singles. And Trenton Denholm's day on the mound is done in 4 innings pitched. Gave up just 4 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. We'll get you the new pitcher in just a moment, but we'll take a short break. Oaks now down just 7. So Trenton Denholm's day is done, and Robert Gasser will step to the mound for the Puff Caps in a 7-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. 3 consecutive hits from Beam, Shaken, and Picketts brought the bases loaded, and Jacob Castro delivered once again with a 2 RBI single, and DJ Miller stepping in for the Oaks.
It's big, nobody away, John, on 6, 7, 8, 9 batters, all for the Oaks were able to get on base. 2 scored, and now with the top of the order, a very capable part, able to try to continue this streak for the Oaks.
Checks off the runner at second, and Miller is going to pop that one deep to right, out of play for strike 1. Miller 0 for 2 on the day, but as we've mentioned, was 4 for 5 a few days ago, batting .415 on the season. Hasn't had a home run yet, but 11 RBIs. Robert Gasser, the southpaw, checks the runner at second. Sets and fires the 0-1 that runs upstairs for ball 1.
Just for the folks at home watching, we do have a new cameraman for this time being. Robbie Medell, Oaks star closer, and only 3 saves away from tying the CCL record since 2011. Plans on breaking it. We'll see what happens.
1-1 pitch. Drops below the strike zone for ball 2.
I guess now he's 6 for 6 after the save the other day. So, yeah, he is 3 away from breaking it. But it's nice to have him up here on the booth with us. He'll get some play-by-play in the 6th and 7th innings.
It certainly is. He's brought some life to this Oaks team with 2 on and nobody away. Gasser will step off.
And Gasser was wise to do that. He looked a little bit jittery on the mound. And this is the right lineup for the Oaks to face a lefty. Oliver on deck, Mayu in the hole with nobody away. If Miller can rope one, that'll be big.
2-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike number 2. Bring the count even at 2-2. Gosser at Oak Ridge High School. Impressive 5-1 record, 1.87 ERA, and 58 strikeouts. So 2 on and nobody away. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Miller hits that one deep into left, but it's just going to drift out of play. And another close one that just can't drop into fair territory.
That's just one of those times that you wish that the creators of Sparky Anderson Field could have flipped the field, because with the wind blowing out to right, it kind of helps that ball hang a little bit. They flipped it, probably got an out.
Gosser takes the sign from his catcher, sets and fires the 2-2 pitch. Miller gloves that over to third. Out number 1, toss to first, not going to get in time. So Miller does have a base hit, but Picketts will be tagged out at third on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, fielder's choice unassisted to the third baseman. Selma able to backhand it, a good one there, and tag third base. A lot of young infielders forget that there is a force out at times in a bang-bang situation, but not Selma. And he made the sure out and the correct one.
So Castro at second, Miller at first. Jason Oliver steps in. Oh, pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. Oliver 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. 2 on and 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Gosser fires the 0-1 in the ground for ball 1, and a nice job by Presno to get behind it and prevent runners from advancing. Oaks in this inning have generated 3 hits. Oliver is going to pop that out of play for 1 and 2. Make that 4 hits in this inning with 2 runs. And it all started with Beam's bunt in the infield to get things started, followed by a single base hit from Shaken and another bunt from Picketts. And then Castro delivered the RBI, the 2 RBI single. Gosser will step off.
And this is where Oliver has to be patient, leading the team in strikeouts, even though he missed the last 4 games. An opportunity to make amends here, but he has to be patient and wait.
1-2 runs upstairs for ball 2, and now in an even count, Oliver got to be extra careful that he doesn't swing on a curveball that just drops short. He'll check the runner at second. 2-2 slider, cut on and missed for strike for out number 2.
Beautiful strikeout pitch there. And we were talking about breaking balls that have been elusive to Oliver that time. A beautiful breaking pitch. Got Oliver way out ahead. And as a pitcher, that's something that you like to see. But for Oliver, shaking his head as he gets back to the dugout, and now with 2 away, a big spot here for Grant Mayu.
Yeah, Mayu's 0 for 2, 2 flyouts to right. Has 1 home run on the season, but looking to deliver at least some base hit. He's batting .325 on the season. In a 2-out, 2-on situation here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-0 pitch. Runs low for ball 1. Gosser took over for Denholm at the start of the 5th. But after Denholm gave up 4 consecutive hits, Gosser got the call. Checks the runner at second. Fires the 1-0 pitch that just misses the inside corner for ball 2. Remember, you can watch the game on oaksbaseball.org or simulcast on YouTube. Or tweet at us at Conejo_Oaks. I'm at Jonah_Malkin. He's at Johnny Riff with 1F.
And don't forget Robbie Medell. He's at Medell Rob.
2-0 pitch. Mayu launches that deep into center. Running back on it is Williams to make the catch. So unfortunately, the Oaks leave 2 on base, but do put 2 runs on the board on 4 hits and no errors. But they're down 7-2 as we're through 5 full here at Spark Anderson Field. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break.
Now batting, number 2, Dante Williams.
And welcome back, Oaks fans. This is your guy, your favorite Robbie Medell, the closer from the University of Arizona. And speaking of the University of Arizona, stepping in on the left side of the box is Dante Williams, the U of A signee, due on campus in Tucson next fall. On the mound for the Oaks is left-handed pitcher Travis Craven, who fires a well-located fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, and you'll be getting a lot of time to see this one, Robbie.
Maybe. And the second pitch from Craven is a curveball left up. Dante Williams, as I said, will be on campus this fall. The U of A coaches are excited about the lefty outfielder with some good speed and range in center field. Craven drops another curveball in there, but this time for strike 2. 1-2's the count. 7-2 ball game here in the top of the 6th. 9 hits for the Puff Caps and 5 for the Oaks. The Oaks did bring across 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th as Craven fires the 1-2 pitch. A fastball fouled off to the left side. And Jackson Simonsgard with yet another foul ball retrieved. That's 1,475 on the career for Simonsgard.
Simonsgard shouldn't have a number. It should just say BD on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, he's challenging Kenny Johnson for the most amount of balls picked up.
The 1-2. A good fastball changing the eye level there. But a ball nonetheless. 2-2 count here to the Arizona future outfielder. Left on left to action here. 2-2 count. Top of the 6th. The pitch from Craven is a curveball tapped foul to the right side, and we'll do it all over again. We'll do it all over again.
Jonah, you mentioned that Simonsgard and Kenny Johnson are duking it out, but I think that Simonsgard has about 4 years on Kenny Johnson in foul ball retrieval with the Oaks.
He does, so that just goes to show how many balls Johnson's been able to corral this season alone.
2-2 pitch from Craven, dropped in there. Strike 3 looking, and that'll retire Williams for the first out of the inning. And Travis Craven does a great job locating pitches there and getting the first out of the inning on a backwards K.
Yeah, and Craven doesn't pitch for speed, but pitches for accuracy and location and putting that fully on display here.
And we're back to the top of the order for the Puff Caps as Trey Cruz steps into the box, going to Rice in the fall. Cruz, Mr. Cruz, you'll like the state of Texas, God's country, and I wish you the best over at Rice.
Grew up in Texas, Robin.
Oh gosh, bless this kid. He knows a lot about a lot of things, and there's a reason why he's leading off for the Puff Caps playing shortstop, because he was born and bred in the greatest place on earth. 1-1 count to the man from the greatest state in the world, as Craven fires the fastball about 55 feet into the dirt. 2-1 count here.
Yeah, this is the first time we're doing a three-man crew too, Robbie. So you're the one heading it. Good luck.
Yeah, 2-1 count to Cruz. Craven with a good fastball down, but not to the liking of home plate umpire Doug. That's all I got on him. Doug is the first name. 3-1 count here to Cruz, the leadoff man for the Puff Caps. And a ball, Cruz steps in the bucket and fires one out to left field. Beam on the track and corrals it just short of the Kingsman Baseball 2017 NCAA Division III National Championship banner.
Yeah, brand new out there and left that banner, but a nice pitch from Craven, but even a nicer hit from Cruz. Luckily for the Oaks, Beam with that speedy back step was able to catch it just short of the wall.
Yeah, not to mention with the wind, they got a favorable wind as it's blowing to the right.
And the two-hole Bryce Bonner headed for Fayetteville, Arkansas in the fall. Oh, Bonin, excuse me. Bonin has struck out and doubled today. Third at bat of the day, looking at a 1-0 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, and Craven fires another well-located fastball in the outside part. Location is key for Craven, and he's been locating the ball well today, getting 2 quick outs. 1-1 count here. The lefty gets the sign he likes, fires another fastball by you, and that brings the count to 1-2, and Craven has a lot of room to play here with 2 outs, 1-2 count in the top of the 6th. The Oaks are behind 7-2. Craven looks to get the Oaks back in the dugout quickly here and fires another fastball straight at Cody Santana over at first. And that does it. A quick 1-2-3 for Craven. No hits, no runs. 7-2 ball game heading into the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. See if the Oaks can tack on a couple more runs here to bring the game closer. I'm Robbie Medell, and this is KDTV.
Number 38, Cody Santana.
And Cody Santana will be leading it off for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 6th. The Oaks are trailing 7-2, but did manage to score 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th and look to get more going. Santana batting in the 4-hole today, so the heart of the lineup is due up for the Oaks. And the first pitch from Gasser, Gasser due to arrive in Albuquerque to attend New Mexico in the fall. The future Lobo has Cody Santana, the D2 All-American, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball, squares Santana up. Santana's okay, though. Santana's from the LA area. He watches a lot of LA Kings hockey. He's a tough guy.
I just saw his mom in the crowd cringe there as he got hit in the back. An 89-mile-an-hour fastball, but he's a tough guy. He shakes it off and strides over to first.
Yeah, no one cares when you're down 5. You know, it's going to hurt for a while, but if the Oaks can manage to score a couple, I'm sure he'll forget all about that one in a couple of hours. And Jordan McFarland, the Hog of Arkansas, steps in. McFarland loves the neon, got the neon batting gloves on, and McFarland takes a fastball up for ball 1 from Gasser. Jordan McFarland, if you notice, I don't know if the fans can hear at home, he's a team favorite, gets a lot of applaud for the amazing things he does on the baseball field, and even some minuscule things. So next time McFarland gets a hit, gets a walk, or even catches a fly ball, make sure you listen closely as the Oaks dugout will erupt. 1-1 here to McFarland. Santana with a short lead at first. Gasser the pitch, a tapper back to Gasser. Throws on to short and over to first, and he is doubled up. That is a 1-6-3 double play. Not what the Oaks were looking for, chasing 5 runs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, just when you thought perhaps they were going to generate some momentum once again, carried over from the bottom of the 5th with Santana going over to first. McFarland unfortunately grounded one right to the pitcher's glove. He's able to quickly throw it over to second and able to make a play to first for the double play.
And Milo Beam steps in, the Purdue Boiler. Gasser to the Boiler, and that's a ball down. 1-0. Beam, the speedy outfielder, looking to get it going with 2 outs here. The 1-0 to Beam is slapped on through the hole for a base hit. And that is Beam's second base hit of the day.
Yeah, the first one was the bunt that time, able to take it into right field for a base hit. Beautiful job there from the Boilermaker. And Robbie, do you know what a Boilermaker is?
Is it like a steam engine or like some kind of train?
It's an engineer who actually does make parts of trains.
Hey,
It's not too far off.
Look at me. I'm cultured. And speaking of cultured, Sam Shakin steps in, also from Indiana, a school in Indiana, Valparaiso. The first pitch to Shakin is a ball, and Prenzo fires over to Brewser over at first, but no go as Beam is too quick getting back head first. 1-0 here to Sam Shakin, who is seeing a lot of playing time as of late, has really hit his way into the lineup and has been a great asset at the bottom of the order for Coach Solis. And that's a changeup down to Shakin.
Yeah, not to mention just an incredible infielder, such a reliable person for Coach Solis to go to and insert in the infield. Rarely makes mistakes. I don't think he has an error on the season. And it's no surprise here that Coach Solis has inserted him in the starting lineup.
2-0 count to Shakin with 2 outs here at the bottom of the 6th. And he watches a fastball go by for strike 1. 2-1 count, bottom of the 6th. The Oaks are trailing 7-2. 9 hits for the Puff Caps, 6 on the side of the Conejo Oaks. 2-1 count here. Sam Shakin, Valparaiso, up to bat. Gasser, the pitch, and Beam takes off and slides in safely under the tag of Borgongo. That's wrong. What do you got? Borgano.
We apologize to all of his family watching here. Again, Robin Dell is our star closer, but he also does a good job as play-by-play guy.
I try. 2-2 count here to Shakin. 2 outs here, the bottom of the 6th. Gasser with the dirty mids, the stirrups peeking out of the bottom of the gray cleats, or gray pants with the gray cleats, and he inside turns over, nothing doing. Gasser sets, 2-2 count here, and fires a breaking pitch upstairs, and that'll bring the count to full.
Gasser's lucky that that pitch was high, because if it was at the letters, like, dropped a little bit more, Sam Shakin would have definitely belted that one at least towards the middle part of the outfield.
Full count to Shakin. The pitch, fastball in. Ball 4. Shakin will take his base, and that will bring up Will Pickett from Pierce College.
Yeah, that's just the first walk given up from Gosser on the day, and just the second walk that the Puff Caps have issued this entire game.
Pickett seeing some playing time today. Max Weinstein taking the day off. Playing at second base today. The first pitch to Pickett's a fastball in. Pickett's a valuable option off the bench for Coach Solis. Made some good plays in the infield. Good eye, and he's a speedy one to come off the bench as well to bring the speed up at the bottom of the order for the Oaks. And there's a little bit of a meeting at the mound. Cruz comes over to talk strategy with Gasser and Parenso to calm their lefty pitcher, their future Lobo, down. Get him focused up to get this last out and get the Puff Caps back into the dugout. Will Pickett's one batting glove guy. Do you have a favorite one batting glove guy? Because I do.
Who's yours, Robbie?
Ryan Aguilar. He played for the Wildcats last year.
I remember Ryan.
Helped lead us to a World Series. And Pickett's lines one to the left field. And that'll fall. Beam on from second base. Rounds third and scores safely as Will Pickett gets his second hit of the game. RBI single. The Oaks are now only down 4 runs, 7-3 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Jacob Castro with runners at first and second. Got shaken over at second. Pickett's, who just got the RBI single at first. Jacob Castro, who is the age of all these Puff Caps out there, looking to do some damage to his high school graduate brethren. The first pitch to Castro is a fastball that nicks the outside corner for strike one.
Yeah, not
Pitch to start. Sorry, Jonah. Beautiful pitch to start him out on the outside corner, and Castro hit one up the middle last time. Looking to do again some damage and help the Oaks trim the lead even more.
If I'm not mistaken, Castro didn't see Gasser. Castro saw the starter. I think Castro might have chased the starter, and a breaking pitch floated in for ball one.
Yeah, that certainly looked like a close pitch. Could have nicked the inside corner, but the umpire thought otherwise.
Umpire Doug, no go for him. The 1-1 to Castro. Another breaking pitch, but that one does catch the inside part. Much to the liking of umpire Doug for strike two. 1-2 count here, bottom of the 6th. The Oaks have scored 1 run. Got shaken at second, Pickett's at first. The 1-2 count to Castro from Gasser. Another breaking ball from in the front door, and Castro fouls it off into the Puffs Caps dugout. Gasser looks like he has a plan, trying to throw some front door breakers here to Castro. Castro fights it off, and we'll see another 1-2 pitch on its way here shortly. One-two. Outside, a good extended fastball there, but Castro showing a grown-up eye, watching the 1-2 go into the other batter's box. 2-2 count here, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th.
He's ahead of his years.
Yeah, Castro, veteran, playing with the older team. And another breaking ball inside. Castro lifts it to right field. The right fielder backed back, and he'll catch it about 5 feet short of the warning track. And that'll do it for the Oaks. 1 run on 2 hits. 7-3 ball game heading to the top of the 7th. And we will be right back. This is Conejo Oaks Baseball on KDTV. New pitcher on for the Oaks. Jonathan, do you want to introduce our new pitcher this inning?
Sure, Robbie. Alonzo Garcia from UC Irvine stepping up onto the mound for the Oaks in his third appearance of the season.
Now batting number
Do some
19,
damage
Quinn
control.
Selma.
As the Oaks are still down 7-3. Robbie, we'll give it back to you for this one.
Yeah, Alonzo Garcia going to UC Irvine in the fall. Oh, he's there now? Are we sure about that?
Yes, he pitched 2 innings.
You're right, you're right.
This past season.
He is there now. You're right. That's my fault.
He joined the team late because they ended school last week. And he gets to throw to oncoming catcher Jacob Castro also.
Alonzo Garcia, a former San Fernando High School product. I know that because I have some cousins that go there. The first pitch from Garcia is fired, and a check swing from, where are we at in the order? Gosh, I'm terrible. I'm never going to get a job like this. Check swing from Selma, no go, ball 1. 1-0 count here, the top of the 7th. Garcia sets and fires a breaking pitch. One hop over to Mayu, and Mayu can't corral it as it bounces off his hip. Selma, a hard round to first. No go as Beam rallies over to get the misplayed ball. And that'll be the first error of the game on either side. And in untimely errors, the Oaks have scored in the consecutive innings and are looking to bounce back into this one. But let's see if Garcia can fight his way through the inning. And the first pitch to Brewster, excuse me.
Batting number 24, Nick Bruiser.
See, everybody's just off today. Rough, slow. I can't read.
Just coming off one of those days off yesterday, Robbie.
Yeah, a little bit of a lull today. 2-0 count to Brewster. Brewster will be attending Stanford in the fall. He'll be up in Palo Alto representing the Cardinal Pac-12 school. And the 2-0 to the Cardinal, a called strike on the inside part. Stanford, really tough regional this year, and they didn't make it out. Sac State and Cal State Fullerton were there, and that's tough, you know. 2 good West Coast teams, and Fullerton did make their way onto the College World Series. As Bruiser taps one over to Mayu, he fields that one over to Pickett's, over to Santana for the double play, 6-4-3, and Mayu making up for the error on his own. And I said taps. Brewster did get a little bit of that ball, and it was a hard one hop, and Mayu was able to corral that one, make up for the error, and everybody's feeling good about themselves now.
Feeling good about themselves. Still, if you're the Puff Caps, you still have a 5-run lead here at the top of the 7th inning.
The first pitch to the 5-hole, Zach Parenso, heading to Fresno State in the fall. The catcher has flown out to left, walked, and struck out today. 1-0. Good pitch on the outside part. Good fastball. Says 84 on the board, but that ball had a little bit more life on it than it shows. 1-1 count here, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. 7-3 ball game. The Oaks are trailing. And Garcia gets around a breaker there and leaves it upstairs. And it'll be 2-1 now to Parenso. A fastball inside, and that'll go into the swimming pool area to the right of the ballpark here. 2-2 count, 2 outs. The Oaks do have a little activity in the bullpen. Looks like Riley Jones tossing a ball up and down there as Jackson Simonsgard guards the bullpen catcher per usual. 2-2 count, a breaker, but not to the liking of umpire Doug, as that is a ball on the outside part.
The entire infield, Robbie, started to walk towards the dugout, too. They all thought it was a strike.
I had it a little outside, I'm going to be honest. Great breaker, though. Tough to lay off of. Kudos to Parenso, the good eye. And a fastball with a little cut and life on it gets by Parenso for the 3rd out of the inning. Quick inning there for the Oaks. Just what the doctor ordered, another 0. 7-3 ball game. The Oaks coming with the top of the order next inning to see if they can do some more damage. And we'll be right back on KD.
Now batting, number 4, DJ Miller.
All right, all right, all right. Ooh, that's way too loud. Excuse me there. Bottom 7 here, and the Oaks have the top of the order up. DJ Miller, the Ole Miss hottie toddy, walks to the plate. Gasser still in the game for the Puff Caps, and the lefty fires the first pitch at 90 miles per hour down for ball 1. Good life on the fastball from the lefty. Where's Gasser going to school? New Mexico? The Lobos will be happy to have this lefty with some life on his fastball, and that's another ball on the outside part. The Puff Caps do have some action in the bullpen. Looks like the bullpen coach signaling down to the bench that their reliever is ready to go. 2-0 to Miller. Swung on and missed. A little bit of a cutter there from Gasser. Gets by Miller. 2-1 count. 7-3 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Gasser fires on, and a good fastball in, but just misses. 3-1 count to Miller. It would be good to get Miller on here, huh, Jonah?
Yeah, it certainly would, and it seems like the infield has that in mind as they've all stepping back.
The 3-1 fired in, and that's ball 4 to Miller, and that's just what the Oaks wanted, and I'm sure Coach Solis is fired up to see the speedy DJ Miller on first base, and that'll bring up Jason Oliver, who has been on the shelf for a few games. Good to have him back in the order. Oliver, a great defender, speedy guy himself. Looks to get something going for the Oaks here.
Miller 6 for 6 on the season in stolen bases. Watch him swipe one here possibly.
First pitch from the lefty, a pick over, and I think Jonathan Gasser might have heard you. He didn't like that. He didn't like.
A little bit quieter, right?
Yeah. Sometimes we can hear you. Even I can hear you, and I'm hard of hearing. So, you guys need to either put a soundproof board in front of you or something. But nonetheless, the 0-0 push bunt. And Jason called out on the bang-bang play there. Gasser gets around it, fires it to first, much to the disliking of Oliver. And if there was replay, I would say he might have gotten in. And we're looking at the replay here on the YouTube channel.
You look safe to me, Robbie.
Yeah, it's tough. Two-man crew.
How about you, Jonah?
Man, that guy can fly. It certainly looked like the bottom of his right foot clipped the base right before the ball actually got into the glove of Brewster. If there was a chase review, I would certainly take a look.
Wow, that was a great description there from you, Jonah. You must have slowed that down in your mind because there's no way you can see the replay board over here. But, yeah, just right foot just clips the bag. Now batting for the Oaks is Grant Mayu from San Diego State. Mayu takes strike 2, the backdoor breaker from Gasser. Gasser doing a good job keeping these Oaks at bay since coming into the 5th inning. 7-3 ball game. The Oaks are still looking to come back here. Another breaker. Mayu does a good job of fouling that one off, and he'll see another pitch. And it looks like the Oaks have Riley Jones warming in the pen, and it looks like he's getting ready for it with a purpose, as he'll most likely have the 8th inning for the Oaks. Also down there is Miguel Salud from Kowloon, the Lou Dog himself. The 0-2 to Mayu, fastball in, pounded to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Miller scampers back just in time.
Bogano able to make a beautiful nab out of the air, heels on the right field grass, and get out number 2.
Yeah, if you're Mayu, you wish you could just hit that a foot or two higher. Then that could have dropped, and with Miller's speed, he most certainly could have come around and scored.
Cody Santana, the Hawaii Pacific prospect, steps in and sees a tough left-on-left breaker for strike 1.
Also a 4.0 Robbie at Hawaii Pacific, so not only an All-American, but a valedictorian as well.
Yeah, a scholar and a gentleman.
And an athlete.
And an athlete. The scholar is down 0-1 in the count here with 2 outs. Gasser with the 0-1, a fastball painted on the outside part. Strike 2 at 87 miles per hour.
Really like that one, all right.
Yeah, umpire Doug was feeling that pitch. 0-2 count here to Santana. Santana wiggles and readies as Gasser fires the 0-2 pitch. A fastball by Santana for the 3rd out. The Oaks were able to get 1 runner on due to a walk, but no runs. 7-3 ball game to the top of the 8th. And that's it for me. I'm going to go back down and cheer my teammates on, hand it back down to Jonathan and Jonah. Thanks for listening on KDTV, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the 9th.
Now batting number 23, Brendan Thack.
Top of the 8th inning, the voice of Jonathan Rifkin, my broadcasting partner Jonah Malkin up here with you. You just heard the last 2 innings called by Robbie Medell. Always a pleasure to have the Arizona pitcher and Oaks ace out of the closing spot. 6 for 6 on the season in saves. He's not available today and probably not tomorrow as well. But the Oaks down 7-3 against the Puff Caps, as Riley Jones takes the mound in place of Alonso Garcia, who went 1 inning with 1 strikeout, retired all 3 batters he saw, as the first pitch to Beck is a bunt towards third base, but that's going to go foul for strike one. On the day for Brendan Beck, headed to Stanford in the fall. 2 for 3 with 2 RBI singles and a flyout. Oaks have 3 runs, 7 hits, and an error. 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors here for the Puff Caps. And the star-studded team really taking it at the Oaks as Jones deals the 1-0 pitch. Cut on and missed for strike number 2. Riley Jones from Sonoma State. Brother of first base coach for the Oaks. As the 0-2 pitch whipped in and swung and missed for strike 3, a 72-mile-an-hour slider. For out number 1, that's going to bring up Tate Soderstrom on the day. 0 for 2 with a sacrifice and 2 groundouts. One of the only Puff Caps to get to have no hits on the day or even reach base. Actually, he is the only Puff Cap to have yet to reach base. Hopefully that's not an omen that he will now, as Jones deals the first pitch. It's hit off of his foot into the infield for foul ball and strike number 1.
Yeah, and Soderstrom walking gingerly. Seemed like he clipped the bottom part of his foot as well. That's the third batter that we've seen today that has clipped the bottom of their foot and walking it off gingerly.
Oh, 1 count, 1 away. Give you the lay of the land here for the Oaks field in just a moment as Jones comes set on the stretch and fires the 0-1 pitch outside for ball 1. Out in right field is Jason Oliver. Center field is occupied by DJ Miller. Milo Beeman left. Cody Santana at first. Sam Shaken at third. Grant Mayu at short. At second base is Will Pickett as the 1-1 pitch is ripped into the gap into right field, and that's going to be a single for Soderstrom. So just like I mentioned, he was the only player on the Puff Caps to not get it on base in this game, and you just changed that right there with a single. By the way, the catcher for the Oaks to finish out the field is Jacob Castro on the mound as the Oaks' 4th pitcher of the day, Riley Jones.
Yeah, Johnny, I think you jinxed the trend that was going on, especially with Soderstrom when you mentioned he hadn't had a hit. Just when you mentioned it, he's able to get on first.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter in place of Brett Borgano. Drew Williams, attending UCSB in the fall, steps in. 6'1", 190-pound lefty. Borgano on the day went 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a groundout, and a single. He also had a stolen base. As the Sonoma State product deals the first pitch in the dirt, it gets away from Castro, advancing Soderstrom to second on the wild pitch. Runner in scoring position now, 1-0 count to Williams. And by the way, there also is a pinch runner, Tim Tawa, headed to Stanford from Oregon, is the pinch runner in place of Soderstrom. So a couple of changes. The 1-0 pitch is whipped in there low for ball 2. Coach Zarelli giving some bench players an opportunity here with a 5-run lead to run. Excuse me, a 4-run lead as the 2-0 pitch is popped out of play for strike number 1. My math is hard, Joan. I'm glad you corrected me. You should have just said it.
Well, you know.
7-3 the score. It's been a long game. First pitch was at 4:59 Pacific time. We're now 3 hours and 10 minutes into the game. 3 hours and 13 minutes is the longest game the Oaks have played this season. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Again, math is hard. The 2-1 pitch is laced over to short, backhanded by Mayu, who's going to bobble it, gets to Santana in time. While looking back, Tawa, and a beautiful play from the shortstop puts the second out on the board.
Yeah, and that's an incredible throw from Mayu. He's falling back, opposite direction, plants on his back foot, leaning back, throws a bullet over to Santana. And one of the things that Santana does so well is he steps so far with his foot on the bag that he's able to extend and reach and save himself an extra half a second to make the out.
Dante Williams coming up now, 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a walk, a run scored, and a strikeout looking. An opportunity for him here with a runner in scoring position and two away to extend on his very productive day. Jones checks the runner at second, kicks and fires the first pitch, low for ball 1. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. Both teams coming off of wins. First of 3 games, these two teams will duke it out on the baseball diamond. 1-0 pitch in from Jones is low for ball 2. Both these teams will be back here at Cal Lutheran tomorrow at 5 o'clock, 4:50 pregame for that. And then on Saturday, we'll be headed across the street to Conejo Creek, a smaller ballpark, so a lot of home runs I'd assume would be present, as the pickoff attempt is not in time. Sliding back safely is Tawa. 2-0 still to count. Then the Oaks will wrap up their weekend against the Ventura Halos on Sunday in Ventura. The Puff Caps are headed to play the Healdsburg Prune Packers, a team in the CCL Central, or excuse me, the CCL North at Palo Alto High School. The 2-0 pitch runs outside for ball 3. On deck, Trey Cruz in the hole, Bryce Bonin. We'll see if they have any pinch hitters, but it does look like Trey Cruz is warming up in the on-deck circle. 3-0 count here. Jones takes the sign from Castro and fires the 3-0 pitch, an 80-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside corner for strike number 1.
Yeah, and that's why it was so crucial for the Oaks to beat the Halos as well as the Riptide a few days ago, because of this 3-game stretch that's out of league. Gives them an opportunity to stay ahead potentially in the CCL Central.
3-1 count. Jones checked the runner and deals, and it's popped high in the sky towards the Oaks dugout. Running back on it is shaken, and he just hits off of his chest. He was trying to manage not hitting Yosh, the Oaks trainer, in the dugout and catching the ball, but he focused more, which I think was wise, on not running into a player or a pole. And that's why he missed it. Again, a very wise decision by the smart third baseman. Better to brace yourself than make the play, because at the end of the day, player safety is that important. Nonetheless, full count now for Jones, working his way back from a 3-0 deficit here in this at-bat. Dante Williams headed to University of Arizona in the fall. Steps back in, waves the bat over his left shoulder. Jones checks the run at second, kicks and fires the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled off against the screen. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's a big spot here for the Oaks. If they can get out of this inning, get to the bottom of the 8th, a 4-run deficit is definitely manageable. We've seen them with some big innings in the last couple of games, but the offense hasn't been working here. 3-2 pitch fouled off the glove of Castro, and we'll do it again for the 3rd straight time with 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and Williams did a nice job just managing to tap that one foul and get his bat on it. Certainly looking like he might have struck out, but at the last second able to clip the ball and stay alive in the count.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, 1 on second base. 7-3 Puff Caps lead over the Conejo Oaks as Riley Jones deals the 3-2 pitch upstairs towards the shoulder for ball number 4. The first walk given up on the day by the Sonoma State product. Only the 4th walk given up in total by the Conejo Oaks. Runner on first base now, along with a runner on second base. And Trey Cruz at the top of the order will step back in, 1 for 4 on the day. A single run scored, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout under his belt. High stance here. First pitch runs inside for ball 1. On deck, Bryce Bonin. In the hole, Quentin Selma. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the visiting Puff Caps. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. Checking the runner at second is Jones as he deals the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. Rams training camp's quiet today out over left field. Normally buzzing with activity earlier in the morning. Summer training camps for the Rams. Pretty cool to see here as the 1-1 pitch is cut on and foul tipped. And now a pickle over at first. Running is Williams, and he slips and falls, and Pickens is going to finally tag him out for out number 3. So that will be a 1-3-6-4 put out to get Dante Williams out, and we are out of the top of the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 7.5 here from Sparky Anderson Field. Puff Caps lead it 7-3. We're going to take a short break right here on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. Jordan McFarland steps in here for the Oaks in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin. 7-3 our score. Puff Caps lead it as Gasser is back on the mound and fires the first pitch to the Arkansas Razorback up high for ball number 1. A couple of changes in the field. Drew Williams takes over at second base. Tim Tawa's over in left field for the Puff Caps. As the 1-0 pitch is cut foul back against the screen for strike number 1. 1-1 the count. 3 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Oaks. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. As Gasser comes set, kicks and fires the 1-1 pitch, swung and missed for strike number 2. And that 1 ball, 2 strikes now. As the first pitch was a ball, the second pitch was fouled back against the screen, and that one was fouled back as well. 1-2 pitch in is a curveball, swung on and missed for strike 3. McFarland is now 0 for 4 on the day. Out number 1, the second strikeout on the day for Gasser as well.
Yeah, McFarland has struggled, and normally he's not known for striking out as a contact hitter. Normally when he gets out, he at least grounds it or flies him out, but this time 2 strikeouts on the day, so he's been struggling a little bit.
Milo Beam steps in now on the day, 2 for 3. One of the most productive Oaks batters, shows bunt, pulls it back, taken low for a ball. A single back in the 6th, stole second and scored. Back in the 5th, he had a bunt that he beat out for a hit and had a run scored as well. 1-0 pitch runs upstairs for ball 2. He has accounted for 2 of the 3 Oaks runs. The other one, the man waiting on deck, Sam Shaken. Bottom of the order has been doing very well for the Oaks in today's game, as the 2-0 pitch is low and outside for ball 3. They've combined for 6 total hits of the 7 for the Oaks. And if you're Coach Shaliz, that's not a number that you should be super happy with, but at least there's some production in the bottom of the order. It's just the top of the order that hasn't been producing. 3-0 pitches drawn outside for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk here for Beam puts him on base for the 3rd time in today's game. 3rd walk given up on the day by Gasser, and the Oaks have a speedster over at first with Sam Shaken stepping in. 1 for 2 on the day with a ground out, a single, a run score, and a walk. He was stranded at second back in the 6th inning.
Yeah, and it certainly doesn't help the Oaks that Max Weinstein was given the day off. He's one of the top leaders and normally occupying a spot in the top of the order, perhaps top 3 or 5. Coach Shaliz likes to play with it, so he's giving a couple other players an opportunity to showcase their offensive skills.
Tim Zarelli is going to stride out to the mound for the Puff Caps and have a conversation with his entire infield. 1 away, 7-3 score, and they're going to make the call to the new pitcher. So we're going to take a break here. 1 on, 1 away. Puff Caps lead 7-3. Robert Gasser's day is done. We're going to hit a break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Bryce Bonin, who was the DH in today's game for the Puff Caps, will come into pitch, which effectively takes away the DH spot, but nonetheless, he's allowed to do that, doing a little bit of both. Hitting and pitching here is the first pitch from Bonin is fired in for a strike. The runner goes, Beam slides under the tag, and he is safe. By the way, Sam Shakin still in as the batter for the Oaks. Stolen base here for Mr. Beam, his second on the game. On the season for Milo. Coming into today's game, he was 2 for 3 in stolen bases, so now he's 4 for 5. Very productive over there on the base path. Runner in scoring position now. Sam Shakin facing an 0-1 count to Indiana prospects. On the field for the Oaks, the Valparaiso one swings at the 0-1 pitch. It's a two-hopper over to third. Beam's going to get to second as it's fielded by Selma in time for out number 2. But like I said, Beam advancing on that one. So those who score him, that will be a productive out as Will Pickett's on the day 2 for 3 steps in.
Yeah, and obviously it's not the most ideal situation. You were hoping that perhaps Shakin could have gone a ball past the infield, because with Beam's speed, he certainly could have come all the way home, but now requires the Oaks to generate at least one more bat or a wild pitch.
Pickett's 2 for 3, like I said, an RBI single back in the 6th. He singled in the 5th before that and grounded out to first as he takes a 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner for ball number 1. Pickett's dad, Bill Pickett's, is the head coach at Pierce Junior College. 1-0 pitch in is low for ball 2. Will Pickett's is actually Will Pickett's the third. His grandfather was the first of the trifecta of Pickett's. His father, Bill Pickett's, is Will Pickett's the second, and of course the third one here. 2-0 pitch in from Bonin. Skins the outside corner for strike number 1. Pickett's was second on the team in batting average this past season for LA Pierce Junior College. Oaks slugger and Pickett's teammate there, Brandon Lewis, batted .419 for them this past season, led the team. Pickett's in the 320s. His father, Bill, actually played one season at Cal State LA with Oaks head coach David Solis before being drafted by the Oakland A's in the 1980s. Played a couple years in the minors. The 2-1 pitch from Bonin runs upstairs for ball 3. On deck, Castro. In the hole, DJ Miller. Should we get that far? 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. The 3-1 pitch in from Bonin is popped foul, way out of play into the softball field behind us. And that'll bring the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oaks would like to thank their sponsors, Roadrunner Shuttle, for getting the Oaks to and from all of their away games safely. Joseph Sweet, orthopedic surgeon in Oxnard. The 3-2 pitch is fouled back once again. We'll do the count full for a third straight time. Cronies Bar and Grill in Newberry Park and Jimmy John's Sandwich. Every sponsor is a valuable member of the Oaks family. Runner on third base in the form of Milo Beam. Will Pickett's fighting to stay alive here as Bonin Pearson fires the 3-2 pitch low for ball 4. Will Pickett's does a good job displaying the patience there. Draws the first walk that Bonin's given up, the 5th collectively by the Puff Caps. And now Jacob Castro in the number 9 spot will step in with runners at the corners and 2 away.
Yeah, and Castro delivered the 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 5th and crushed one deep into right, but Beck was able to grab it, but he's gotten a couple good swings and on bats for the Anteater and looking for one more.
Yeah, Castro is 3 feet away from launching a ball out of the ballpark, but just caught at the wall. He takes the first pitch he sees very high into shallow right field, running in on his Beck, and Williams running back on it, but the right fielder Beck will make the catch for out number 3. So the Oaks are able to get 1 runner on, but leave, or excuse me, 2 runners on no hits, but leave them both stranded on base. We're through 8 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. Puff Caps still lead at 7-3. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back. Trey Cruz steps in the number 1 spot here for the Puff Caps in the top of the 9th. They lead at 7-3. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkind, Oaks Baseball and KDTV's Miguel Salud from Cal Lutheran steps in and fires the first pitch, popped foul for strike number 1. Miguel Salud, getting his second appearance with the Oaks on the season, was named the most outstanding player in this year's Division III World Series. In all 3 games, he did not give up a run. As he deals the 0-1 pitch, a curveball missing upstairs for ball 1. Oaks awarded him that honor. It was actually very interesting. It was an NCAA award honor, but they allowed the Oaks to do it. Quite a honor both for the team and for Salud as he deals the 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for strike number 2. From the Philippines, an international product, led Cal Lutheran to that championship about a month ago. If you look out to left field, the Oaks the Kingsmen just put up a banner. Hopefully the first of many for this baseball powerhouse. The 1-2 pitch is a curveball missing on the outside corner. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Jonah showing us that nice little sign. Kingsman Baseball 2013 NCAA Division III National Champions. I want to congratulate Coach Marty Slimak once again as the 2-2 pitch is cut foul. And we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the day for Trey Cruz, 1 for 4. He was up in the last inning, but Dante Williams was out on a 1-3-6-4 pickle. Single strikeout, flyout, and groundout in the 4 trips for Cruz. Headed to Rice in the fall to play with the Owls. As the 2-2 pitch from Salud is swung and missed for strike 3. Down goes Cruz. The first strikeout on the day for Salud. And Bryce Bonin, who came up to pitch in the last inning, will step in now. That eliminates the DH spot because he's also a pitcher on the day for Bonin. 1 for 4 as well with a strikeout, an RBI single, a run scored, a ground out, and a line out in his 4 trips. Headed to the University of Arkansas as Salud deals the first pitch, a curveball on the inside corner for strike number 1. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Puff Caps. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. Game number 22 of the Oaks season. Game number 12 of the Puff Cap season. The 0-1 pitch. A fastball swung and missed for strike number 2.
Yeah, but the time has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe we're nearly midway through the season.
Almost into July as the 0-2 pitch is upstairs for ball 1. 90 miles an hour on the gun. That is the fastest pitch we have seen Salud dealt in today's game. Mean fastballs between 85 and 88. But he can hit that 90 mark like you just saw. However, it was not a strike as he comes set. Pearson fires the 1-2 pitch. A curveball waved out towards short. Mayu gets it quickly across the diamond in time to get Bonin out and put the second out up on the board. Quentin Selma now in the number 3 spot will step in. Actually, it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter in place of Selma. It's going to be a player not listed on the Puff Caps roster. Oh, it's Steven Rivas, excuse me. Actually, he was written in at the last moment by Coach Zarelli. He was kind of out of our way, but nonetheless, Selma's day is done. And Rivas headed to Long Beach State in the fall will step in. Lefty on righty matchup here as Salud deals the first pitch outside. Selma's day, as he is no longer in the lineup, ended on 1 for 4 mark. A strikeout, a single, an RBI, a run scored, a line out, and he reached on an error back in the 7th. As Salud deals the 1-0 pitch to Rivas, and it's swung on and missed for strike number 1. Rivas will likely take over in third base. When we get to the bottom of the 9th, Oaks down 7-3 here to the Puff Caps as Salud deals the 1-1 pitch just below the knees for ball number 2.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Oaks, they've had a couple opportunities left, a number of guys on base in the past couple innings. Couldn't convert or capitalize on those optimal situations.
Salud toes the rubber. Pearson fires the 2-1 pitch. It's a curveball swung and foul tipped into the dirt. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steven Rivas standing at 6 foot 2 inches tall. Plays outfield, but also a little bit of infield. like I said, headed to Long Beach State, a phenomenal baseball school, lost in the Super Regionals a couple weeks ago. Salud nods to Castro. Takes the sun, comes set, kicks and fires the 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled towards left field. Making a play on it is Beam, but he's going to watch it glide over the fence, and we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow at 4:50. The Oaks and the Puff Caps in game number 2 of the 3-game series. 5 o'clock start time for that. Looks like Nate Wenner for the Oaks, so get the nod. Salud deals the 2-2 pitch in. And it's low and away for ball 3.
Yeah, Salud was looking for the off-speeder. It just drifted low and outside, tried to catch. Rivas swinging, but he did a nice job staying patient in the batter's box.
Rivas digs back in, payoff pitch coming from Salud, and it's a high fastball, swung and missed for strike 3. Salud retires the Puff Caps in order, no runs, no walks. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, no walks, and 2 strikeouts in the inning for Salud. 7-3 are our scores. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Oaks to make up the 4-run deficit. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, simulcast onto YouTube. We'll be right back. Last hopes here for the Oaks in the bottom of the 9th inning. DJ Miller steps in. Bryce Bonin still on the mound here for the Puff Caps. 7-3 score as Miller chops the first pitch he sees to Cruz at short, and he'll deal it over to Brewster. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th, and not the way that you want to start if you're the Oaks trying to come back from the deficit. Nonetheless, this isn't a league game, so it doesn't really hurt the Oaks too much. The only way it would really hurt them is if they tied with the Foresters in overall CCO record going to the playoffs, and the tiebreaker would be the overall record. Now, mind you, these teams play multiple games against interleague teams as Jason Oliver steps in and takes a first pitch strike. So it wouldn't matter too much, but sometimes these can have an after effect, and also it can ruin the morale for a team if they lose. So Lisa has been very adamant about these players taking this game seriously as the 0-1 pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, not to mention, this is a good team they're playing against, a lot of really talented young players. So this is a good opportunity for everyone on the Oaks to improve and face tough and elite competition.
1-1 pitch hits the helmet of Oliver. He shakes it off, gives the Oaks bench a smile, and strides over. The umpire hands the ball to Bonin and says, probably don't do that again, because the last thing that any of these players need here in the 9th inning is, actually, or ever, but especially in the 9th inning, is to take a ball to the temple. So hit by a pitch here for the Oaks, the second one they've seen on the game. Santana was also hit by a pitch back in the 7th inning. And that's going to bring up Grant Mayu on the day for Mr. Mayu. 1 for 4. Actually, check that. Make that 0 for 4. 3 flyouts and a ground out, or a line out in his 4 trips. Bonin checks that runner at first. Speedy Oliver takes a step off, and Mayu Grounds the first pitch he sees foul for strike number 1. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors here for the Puff Caps. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. Time is called as Bonin fixes his belt, and he toes the rubber, takes the sign from Presno behind the dish. Pearson fires. The 0-1 pitch. Oliver goes. It's swinging foul ball towards first base, and we'll do it again. By the way, taking over at third base is Drew Williams. He moves over from second, and at second base is Cody Stevenson, making his first appearance. So that means Steven Rivas, who came in for Quinn Selma, is no longer in this game as he will not take the field. 0-2 pitch is a curveball painting the outside corner for strike 3. Mayu thought about going, decided not to, but nonetheless it was the strike that was called.
Yeah,
First strikeout on the day for Bonin.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. That was a beautiful pitch from Bonin. Kept it low, fastball on the outside, and forced Mayu in a tough situation to try and swing and extend the bat or check swing, and instead he just caught in the middle.
Cody Santana steps in representing the last breath for the Oaks as the first pitch to him is a one chopper over to first. Brewster will get it, take it himself for out number 3, and end the ball game. The Oaks drop it 7-3. The loss goes to the Oaks. Travis Craven, as he was the pitcher who pitched in the 5th inning, even though he only faced a total of 4 batters and struck out 3 of them, he will receive the loss, unfortunately. The winning pitcher for the Puff Caps, Robert Gasser. He pitched 3 1/3 innings pitch, came in that 4th inning, and he receives the win. Final line for you, 7 runs on 10 hits, no errors, and a total of 5 left on base for the Puff Caps. For the Oaks, 3 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and a total of 9 runners left on base for them, and that's the difference right there. Jonah, it was a struggle from the very beginning, a long 3rd inning that amounted to 6 total runs for the Puff Caps. Eventually led to the win. The Oaks only put up 2 runs in the 5th, 1 run in the 6th, and couldn't muster up much else on the offensive side. Some great pitching from the Puff Caps, but overall, just lackluster defense for the Oaks.
Yeah.
Or offense, excuse me, for the Oaks.
Yeah, and it's a shame because this was a good opportunity for them to see if they could continue their hot streak. They came into today on a 4-game winning streak, playing consecutively on 4 straight days. They got the day off, earned the right, as it were, to enjoy themselves and regroup, and instead they just came out flat. And it was a great performance by the Puff Caps. They stepped in early, asserted themselves in the very beginning, and in that 3rd inning, the entire game just got away from them. And unfortunately for the Oaks, it was just too big of a hurdle to try and overcome. And look, they'll get another crack at them tomorrow, see if they can turn things around, and hopefully everyone on that team will come out more focused, prepared, and ready to go.
Every single one of the Puff Cap starters reached base on at least a single. They totaled 10 hits, a phenomenal day for the Puff Caps as a whole. For the Oaks, the bottom of the order really represented the majority of the offense for the team. The player on the day for the Oaks was Will Pickett. He ended up going 2 for 3. You could also give it to Milo Beam, who also went 2 for 3. It was a toss-up between those 2 players. For the Puff Cats, I would have to give the player of the game to either Nick Brewster, who had 2 runs scored, or to Brandon Beck, who went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 singles. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Sparky Anderson Field. As you see the Oaks packing it up, the sun begins to set, and a beautiful Thursday evening begins to overtake us here in the Conejo Valley. The Puff Caps take it 7-3. Join us tomorrow at 4:50 Pacific time, 5 o'clock start time, when the Oaks take on the Puff Caps in game number 2 of the 3-game series. For everybody who made this broadcast possible, all of our wonderful interns, our statistician Keith Schneider, team ops and PA guy Chris Ruffinelli, Coach David Solis, my broadcasting partner Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off, wishing you a wonderful rest of your Thursday evening, and we'll see you tomorrow when the Oaks take on the Puff Caps once again. The Oaks lose it 7-3. Have a great rest of your day.